And in other news, since October 7th, there has been an outpouring of support from the global Christian community towards Israel. And joining us today in the studio to discuss this special relationship is Rabbi Tuly Weisz, founder of Israel 365. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Lidar.
So we're celebrating Hanukkah these days, otherwise known as the Festival of Lights, during a dark time in Israel's history. And so what perfect timing to really discuss this support that we're receiving from the Christian community. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you. The Christians are very concerned about Israel during it's a two-front battle. They're concerned about our military battle, and they're also very much concerned about the anti-Semitism. And during Hanukkah, a lot of Jews have been afraid to even display their menorahs in their homes. And so one of the things that Christians are doing is displaying menorahs. And in fact, some of them reached out to us, and we quickly put together a campaign at Israel 365, and we just made a printable menorah that people could download, and thousands of people have their menorahs in their windows as a sign of solidarity with the Jewish people.
Wow, what a beautiful endeavor. And so your organization, Israel 365, I mean, it really builds bridges between the Jewish community here in Israel and the Christian communities abroad. So, you know, how have you witnessed this special relationship and outpouring of support, especially during these last 2 months of the war?
Yeah, well, Jewish-Christian relationships over the last few years have been at a crossroads because a lot of people have been noticing that the next generation of millennials or Generation Z are not nearly as supportive of Israel as their parents and grandparents' generation. This war provoked a crisis, and we're seeing a disaster unfolding on the college campus. And so what we've been doing at Israel 365 is pivoting our attention to focus on the younger generation, on the college students. And we brought a solidarity mission to Israel just 2 weeks ago of young Generation Z leaders for Israel who are committed to going back to their college campuses and to advocate for Israel.
And so, you know, sort of taking a step back, why do you think there is such a close connection between Israel and the Christian evangelical community abroad? Well,
for the first time, Christians recognize that the attacks on the Jewish people are also attacks on them, right? Those who are our enemies right now seem to have nothing in common. What do these woke progressives and these radical Muslims have in common? The only thing that they really have in common is their shared rejection of the Bible. And the Jewish people represent the Bible. And what our enemies are actually saying is that first they're going to go after the Shabbat people, the Saturday people, and then the Sunday people. Right? The jihadis are saying that this is a war against the people of the Bible and what the Jewish people represent. And that is exactly what they are saying. And Christians recognize that. They are seeing that the attacks on the Jews are really attacks also on them, and which is why so many Christians are demonstrating on behalf of Israel in America, but really all over the world.
And so, you know, you mentioned anti-Semitism that we're seeing around the world, really reaching alarming new heights. And now more than ever, Israel is really seeking allies and partners. So how is the Christian community helping in combating this hateful phenomenon, especially, as you mentioned, among sort of the younger generation?
The Christians are mobilizing in ways that we've never really seen before. They are saying that this radical Islamic takeover is not going to happen on their watch. And especially they are so upset about the persecution of the Jewish people, and they know that they didn't do nearly enough during the Holocaust, and Christians are saying, not on our watch. And we are going to defend the Jewish people in unprecedented ways. And churches are dedicating services to Israel. They are praying for Israel. They are visiting Israel. They are sending money to Israel. They are rallying for Israel. And they are looking to take back their campuses.
So really an incredible show of support. And just one final question, you know, about Israel 365 and the work that you're doing really to foster this connection, this such an important connection.
Yeah, it really is. The Jewish people, we are not alone. There are millions and millions, even hundreds of millions of Christians all over the world. And that's really the silver lining of this. We're recognizing who our enemies are, but also who our friends are. And our friends are the ones who share the same beliefs as us, those who believe in the Judeo-Christian principles, and those who study the Bible. And what an opportunity for the Jewish people here in Israel on Hanukkah, the holiday where we were not allowed to practice our Judaism or read the Torah. Now it is specifically returning to the Torah and being a light unto the nations, and having so many millions and millions of Christians who are also embracing that message, which is exactly why we're going to win.
What a beautiful message, and especially on Hanukkah, the Festival of Light, and shining a light on this. Rabbi Tuly Weisz, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us today.
Thank you.